Okay, so I tried to record a video outside. I went for a little walk, but it was too windy outside, and I was like, I don't want to go out and record because all the audio will get windy. So I just came back home. But I took a walk, and in that walk, I had sort of like a few thoughts, and one of the thoughts that I had was about fame. And as you can see by the title, I'm basically saying that if I were to be famous, I want to be famous like Kendrick Lamar. Now let me explain that. So everyone knows obviously who Kendrick Lamar is because he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, dropped timeless albums and yada yada. But like in terms of like fame, he's like a person that I sort of like admire just because it's like he's very famous but nobody really knows that much about his personal life, like what he does with his family, his kids, his wife, and just about the stuff that he does until he actually announces them and he actually says it. Unless like like when we're thinking about like his beef with Drake, obviously there's a bunch of more stuff and that was I guess being revealed whether it's true or not. But outside of that it's just like pretty respectable because it's like he's famous and everyone knows him, but like it doesn't mean that everyone knows any like in-depth stuff about his life, and he gets to maintain his privacy. And that's sort of like the type of fame that I would want. Now originally I was gonna say that I didn't want fame at all, like I didn't want to be famous, but because I'm studying business, it's sort of like bullshit to be like I don't want fame because like if I didn't want fame, why would I be studying business, like I mean I guess if I wanted to be like a mysterious like investment banker who climbs the corporate ladder of those big banks, but like and then nobody really like knows me like that unless it's like within the bank. But I do want to have some type of influence, and I guess me studying business and thinking about startups and stuff like that, it will obviously result in me getting famous. Hopefully if it does all work out, if I do become successful in whatever I do in the future, I would do want to like be recognized for it. But I don't want to get to the point where I'm like not able to like live my life, live privately with my future family because of I guess me being very like famous and stuff like that. And that also goes hand in hand with me wanting to be like rich enough that I can just not work and be able to live my life at some point in my hopefully 20s, but maybe like early 30s where I just have enough money with that I can live off of it, live with my family without having to like work or like have to do stuff for the sake of earning money unless it's for doing good in this world. Because all of the billionaires, everyone hates billionaires, I guess, or like they think weirdly of them because they're like, well, they have so much money, why don't they just give it all away? And I saw this one thing of like this, I don't know, I forgot who he was, but he was just like, he had 16 billion, worth, and he donated most of it. And he had like 500 million after, which is like incredible, right? He donated like $15.5 billion, but he still, you know, has 500 million. People were like, well, you still have so much money, why don't you give it all away? I'm like, I don't want to get to that point where I have so much money and I'm so invested into business that I sort of do it. I guess it's like I don't know what the future has in store for me, but I don't want to get it to the point where I'm like constantly working because obviously I do want to do stuff that I do enjoy, but I also feel like because life is like so short, it's like I don't view that sort of stuff as a priority in the future when I'm like in my mid 20s and I want to like find a partner, for example. And it's like I'm still like hustling and hustling and hustling. It's like at some point I have to like stop, right? And I want to like get to the point where I don't have to hustle. I can do work, for example, like if because I want to, and that in turn leads back to becoming famous, because like, for example, if I wanted to, let's say, build a startup, right, and I get famous because it's like a very good startup, I want to either, if I do sell the startup or like sell my equity in it, then I can hopefully live off of that. That's the plan. But if, even if I'm not, and I do really enjoy the startup and I get to keep it and I do build it, I don't want to get to the point where I'm like 20 hours a day working on that shit, because I just want to keep shit simple at some point. So I think Kendrick Lamar is like a prime example of like someone who's dedicated a lot of their time in life to rap, and he's still able to, once he's gotten to the point where he has family and stuff, he's able to like settle down and focus on that and still be able to drop, like, obviously, like, from Damn to Mr. Morale was like 20, like, it was like 6 years or something like that, and like, still, he's so relevant. And I guess that's the type of fame that I would want, where it's like, if I don't do anything after I've already achieved the success, it doesn't have to like come at the cost of people trying to investigate who I am or what I'm doing while I'm like on a hiatus, for example. Because I do want to be able to, you know, live life in the aspect outside of work, because I don't really feel like I want to do that. But for now, I'm just trying to grind and stuff so that I can be able to get the amount of like, I guess, income, net worth, whatever, so that I can like live off of that in some way. I don't know if you guys could hear that motorcycle, but yeah. Yeah. Peace out.